of these founders and the brands come to you, in the first 10 minutes, what are you evaluating in that founder?
You know whether they are genuine, they are driven to the mission, they care about what they are doing, and they only 2 times in life you can start a business. Now, until 30 or after 50 when you have no responsibility. In between that 30 to 50, you have a partner, a house, a home loan, young kids. All of those things are... I still work hard and I'll continue to work hard. I'm not Yuvraj Singh, I'm Chiteshwar Pujara. I don't get anything in life easily, but I am the hardest worker in the room. बस हम डरते थे ना, ये expensive लोगों को hire करेंगे तो फिर क्या होगा? There is no aura or mystique around Arjun Vaidya. You're easily accessible. कोई भी WhatsApp करता है, आप reply करते हो. आप अभी ये position पे हो तो you should not be so accessible. I said,
You take the example of Snitch, okay? They are online plus offline. If they came to you like 4 years back.
They did come to me and I didn't invest. And he's a very good friend of mine. Said, outstanding founder. हमारी गलती है, हमने invest नहीं.
तो शार्क टैंक के 15 मिनट में इन्वेस्ट कैसे करे लोग?
नहीं करते. I've also been on a TV show, Idea Buzz. पहले तो 15 मिनट में नहीं होता है. आपको टीवी पे 15 मिनट दिखता है. वो 90 minutes to 120 minutes चलता है.
What do you think about influencer-led brands in today's day?
I think it's a super addition to the D2C ecosystem. I think there have been lots of failures and a few successes.
All the highlights for Dr. Vaidya's, कैसे scale हुआ, क्या हुआ, right? What is one lowest point जो किसी को नहीं पता है?
Just my wife and I in the office, and she started crying and saying like, we put in so much bloody effort in this business. Everybody else seems to be getting funding except us. The Indian customer is saying, "Yeah, मैं travel करने जा रहा हूँ, तो I want a sexy looking bag."
Yeah.
And by the way, they're not black and brown bags. There was a red and an orange and a green and a pink bag coming, and that's a big change. Indian customer is saying, "I'll spend, boss. If it looks good, I'll spend."
What are the 5 things that you see in a pitch deck? Any category you are very bullish on right now? Do you think there was an unfair advantage for you back then? If a 23-year-old entrepreneur is watching this episode right now, what would you advise him?
Yeah, I would say that
Imagine inheriting a 150-year-old Ayurvedic brand, then scaling it, exiting, and then starting all over again. But this time as an investor. This is the story of Arjun Vaidya. And today on this episode, we are going to decode not just what he built, but how does he think, bets, and backs the next wave of founders. Hi and welcome to Venture Voices with Muskan. I'm extremely honored to have the D2C king, Arjun Vaidya, on our show today. Arjun, very welcome.
Thank you, Muskan. I'm excited to be here as well.
Thank you.
I think the first time we met was at Masters. I remember you recording a reel with me as well, or a video with me. So I remember that very clearly, and I'm so happy with how far you've come since then. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Arjun. Arjun, we all know about your story as well. We know about the headlines, how you got into Dr. Vaidya's and then you scaled, you built it to a 100 crore brand. But if I go back in time and I ask a 24-year-old Arjun that what gives you the confidence to leave your stability, your high-paying job, turn it into a D2C business and make it a 100 crore brand, what would you answer back then?
Vision था और goal था कि my dada had cured me of asthma.
Yeah.
And I wanted to take forward his legacy. हमारे नाम में Ayurveda है, right? Vaidya, my last name means Ayurvedic doctor. तो passion था. But there was no confidence that this will be successful. I think hindsight is 2020. अभी Instagram में, YouTube पे, podcast पे लोग ऐसे बोलते हैं and you hear the positive side of building a business, right? But think about it from my perspective. I was in my dream job pretty much. I was working at a private equity fund, earning 30 lakhs a year in 2015-16. That's lots of money. More than a crore, right? And I was 24 years old. Living in my parents' house, तो कोई expenses भी नहीं थी. तो life was good, honestly. And मेरे business card से कोई भी मिल जाता था. Everyone. Meaning like the biggest e-commerce companies today, whether it's Myntra, Jabong, Pepperfry, Bluestone, Zivame, I've been in meetings where they were pitching their business. Not to me, to my boss's boss, probably, but I was there in those meetings, right? Being a part of that fund. So leaving that, going to a zero salary status, having a business card that doesn't get you those meetings, there was no degree of confidence that it will be successful. It was just कि मैं 24 years का हूँ, ये idea है, अब नहीं try करेंगे तो कब try करेंगे? My boss at that time said something to me. He said, you want to start this business, right? Only 2 times in life you can start a business. Now, until 30 or after 50 when you have no responsibility.
Yeah.
In between that 30 to 50, you have a partner, maybe a house, a home loan, young kids. All of those things are an environment around you which is a little bit more difficult. And so I have even more respect for founders who have 1-year-old, 2-year-old, 5-year-old kids, young kids, and are able to manage all of that. Much more respect than a 24-year-old guy who was single at the time I started my business, then dating a girl, like, and living in my parents' house. Very little responsibility.
Yeah.
But if you ask me to go back in time, confidence नहीं था. Dream था, vision था, mission था, but success का कोई भी confidence नहीं था. And it wasn't successful. For the first 2 years, Dr. Vaidya's was a big failure.
Yeah.
It didn't get going. And that time you think कि यार मेरा salary भी था, job भी अच्छा था, dad भी अच्छा business चला रहा है. फिर लोग भी बोलते थे, I would go to people for advice. And they'd say, यार ये क्यों कर रहे हो? Dad के business में क्यों नहीं गए? That kind of stuff, right? So I think that hindsight is 2020. अब तो सब अच्छा दिखता है. But at that time, it was a big question mark whether it'll be a success.
Yeah. Do you think there was an unfair advantage for you back then?
Yes and no. The advantage was that I inherited formulations and I inherited products. लोग को ऐसा लगता है कि उसने अपने family business को आगे बढ़ाई है. Reality इसके family business था नहीं. My family business is jewelry and watches. I don't work in that business. I've never worked in that business. My dada left behind a legacy. My dada was a successful Ayurvedic doctor. उनका एक clinic था.
Yeah.
वो clinic famous था, but वो clinic famous था because my dada was there. After my dada was not there, that clinic was not so famous anymore. But I inherited an infrastructure. Formulations, products, एक छोटी manufacturing facility थी, approvals थे. तो ये back-end support था. But brand, from zero we started. There was no Dr. Vaidya's. There was no logo. दादा का नाम से एक ब्रांड स्टार्ट किया, लोगो स्क्रैच से लॉन्च किया. अभी 150 साल की लेगेसी थी बट कोई ब्रांड नहीं था. मेरे दादाजी ये दवाई अपने क्लिनिक से बेचते थे. वो क्लिनिक से हमने 20 लाख लोगों तक पहुंचाया. तो yes, I had an advantage to have products and formulations and a name, but I pretty much started the brand from zero like everybody else did.
Ayurveda is completely a trust-led brand. आपने उसको डिजिटल फर्स्ट ब्रांड कैसे बना लिया?
गलती से बन गया. बिकॉज हमने ऑफलाइन ट्राई किया था 2016-17 में. D2C का कोई टर्म ही नहीं था. अभी आप D2C बोलते हो. वो जमाने में हमारे दोस्त जो यूएस में रहते थे, यूके में रहते थे, वो हमें D2C बोलते थे. इंडिया में कोई D2C बोलता ही नहीं था. हम ई-कॉमर्स बोलते थे, डिजिटल फर्स्ट ऐसे बोलते थे. तो हमने ऑफलाइन ट्राई किया एंड आई फील मिजरेबली. I hired 6 distributors, sold 10 lakhs worth of stock. 3-4 महीने बाद 9 लाख का स्टॉक वापस आ गया और 1 लाख रुपए का चेक मिला मुझे डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर से. बिकॉज unless I gave to a distributor sold to retailer sold to customer. Only if customer bought my product will I get paid. कोई customer तो हमारे products भी नहीं लिए because मेरे पास पैसा नहीं था to distribute. और मुझे offline समझ ही नहीं आया how to do this GT, marketing, sales, distribution, etc. तो ऑफलाइन फेलियर था. लोग ऐसे बोलते हैं कि ट्राई एंड ट्राई टिल यू सक्सीड, बट मुझे ये पता चला कि ऑफलाइन तो मेरे से होगा ही नहीं. I cannot do this. My girlfriend at the time was in the founding team at Nykaa, in the first 20-30 people at Nykaa. And she told me, Ayurveda online कोई कर रहा नहीं है, तो your offline is not working, why don't you try online? तो ऐसे online हमने ऐसे विजन से नहीं स्टार्ट किया कि nobody is doing Ayurveda online, so we should do it. नहीं. We failed offline. और एक चैनल बाकी था ऑनलाइन. तो बिफोर गिविंग अप वी सेड ऑनलाइन भी ट्राई करेंगे. ये भी नहीं चला तो हम आगे बढ़ेंगे और जॉब वापस लेंगे. एंड इट सो हैपेंड दैट ऑनलाइन वर्कड फॉर अस. वी क्लिक्ड. वी वर द फर्स्ट ब्रांड टू डू इट एंड देन वी वन. बट I convinced my wife, my girlfriend at the time, who became my fiancée, to join the business. She knew online business better than me, and that's how we started the online journey of Dr. Vaidya's.
Can I say कि ये product जो है Dr. Vaidya's का, it is generic versus you packaged it into ethical?
It was not a generic product.
Okay.
तो आयुर्वेदा में बहुत से generic products हैं जैसे त्रिफला, अश्वगंधा, नोनी जूस, आमला जूस ऐसे बेचते हैं. ये सब generic products हैं. Generic products are products which are either single ingredient or recipes available in the Ayurvedic scripture, जैसे चरक संहिता, Upanishads, etc. All of that. हमारे products were derivations from my grandfather, great grandfather of these scriptures, but into our own proprietary formulations. तो Dr. Vaidya's में जो भी 80 products मैंने launch किए, they were all Ayurvedic proprietary medicine, and they were all our family's unique combinations of these learnings and these blends. तो हमारे सब products unique थे. But मैं ऐसा नहीं कह सकता हूँ कि मैंने कुछ किया है. डॉक्टर वैद्यास की एंटायर जर्नी में मैंने एक नई प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च की विच इज कॉल्ड चकाश. आई टुक माई च्यवनप्राश इन टॉफी फॉर्म और इन कैप्सूल फॉर्म एंड मेड इट अ टॉफी फॉर्म. दैट्स द ओनली यूनिक प्रोडक्ट आई लॉन्च. दूसरे सब प्रोडक्ट्स मेरे दादाजी के रेसिपीज थे, मैंने रीब्रांड रीपैकेज किए. तो मैंने कुछ नहीं किया, बट हमारे परिवार में 150 साल से जो लोग थे उन्होंने बहुत काम किया।
बिल्कुल। सो दीज 80 प्रोडक्ट्स ये अक्रॉस सारे क्यूकॉम प्लेटफॉर्म्स थे, ई-कॉम में थे?
क्यूकॉम था ही नहीं। हमने कंपनी जब बेची थी तो 2021 था। आई थिंक क्यूकॉम became a thing in 2023.
Okay.
So it was website plus e-commerce marketplaces like Amazon, Flipkart, Netmeds, 1mg, Farmeasy, Nykaa ऐसे प्लेटफॉर्म पे बेचते थे। Qcom अगर होता तो आई थिंक वी डन इवन बेटर, बट वो जमाने में था ही नहीं। जैसे हमने एक हैंगओवर प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च किया था कॉल्ड लिव इट अप, यू हैव इट बिफोर यू ड्रिंक, यू वेक अप फ्रेश। अभी आप Amazon पे खरीद रहे हो और आप पार्टी नाइट, ड्रिंकिंग नाइट के लिए जा रहे हो, तो आपने Amazon पे खरीदा प्रोडक्ट, और वो जमाने में Amazon 4 दिन 5 दिन में डिलीवरी करती थी। तो यू हैव हैड द पार्टी, हैड द हैंगओवर, survive that hangover. जब next party start हुई तब Amazon से product पहुंच गया. So that product would have been very effective on quick commerce, but unfortunately we didn't have quick commerce at the time.
एक किसी पार्टी में आपने वो प्रोडक्ट दिखाया था किसी को, right? That this is my product, it's there on the table.
Yeah, so जब हमने start किया था, Live It Up was the first product I launched. मैंने 2 लाख पैकेट्स फ्री में बांटे थे बॉम्बे में, इन रेस्टोरेंट्स, बार्स, क्लब्स, पब्स, लाउंजेस, वाइन शॉप्स, कॉन्सर्ट्स, एंड एवरी वीकेंड, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I would personally go to a different bar in Mumbai and sample the product.
Okay.
मेरी टीम सैम्पलिंग करती थी, मैं वहां बैठता था, just to hear what customers are saying, to manage the whole process, etc. All of that. I would have met at least 10,000 customers of और prospective customers of Live It Up जिनको free product दिया था, personally myself, to understand कि क्या चल रहा है, क्या नहीं चल रहा है। शादियों में ये product बहुत जाता था, तो every time I went for a wedding and the product was there and would be at the bar counter, I would stand at the bar counter and ask someone, कैसा लगता है ये product, what do you think, would you use it, is it safe, and I would hear what customers would say, ताकि मुझे पता चले कि customers क्या सोच रहे प्रोडक्ट के बारे में। If they know I'm the founder, they'll say हाँ ले लेंगे, but if they don't know I'm the founder, how will they think about it?
That's amazing. First hand feedback ले लिया आपने, ये awesome. एक टर्म है बहुत यूज करते लोग, फाउंडर मार्केट फिट. हाउ डिड यू थिंक बैक देन कि हो गया मेरा फाउंडर मार्केट फिट भी है और probably this is my right to win?
I think वो जमाने में हमें फाउंडर मार्केट फिट का टर्म समझ ही नहीं आया था. We didn't know. The other thing which VCs didn't like at the time, I'll be honest, is husband wife के girlfriend boyfriend are running the business together, etc. All of that. I mean, we were first dating, then engaged, then married while the company was being built. 2018 में हमारा शादी हुआ. तो people didn't even like that. अभी ऐसे 20-30 successful examples have husband wife duos running D2C brands. तो अभी कोई पूछता नहीं है. But that time they would ask कि husband wife does it make sense, etc. All of that. But मेरा एक right to win था कि my name is Arjun Vaidya and Vaidya is my last name. मेरे परिवार में 150 साल की लेगेसी है जो ट्रस्ट बिल्ड करता है, एंड मेरे पास वेरी वेरी इफेक्टिव फॉर्मुलेशंस है जो लाखों लोगों ने सालों से ट्राई किया एंड इट इज इफेक्टिव. If you tell me मेरा डायबिटीज प्रोडक्ट इफेक्टिव है कि नहीं, I can tell you 5,000 people have had the product already and happily had the product. क्योंकि टेस्टिमोनियल्स है मेरे पास. तो I had the R&D and products ready on day zero. I think that was my right to win. But उसके आगे सब मैंने अपने आप कर लिया.
स्टार्टिंग में आई थिंक आप लोग के कुछ धीरे धीरे जब स्केल होने लग गया तो 3,000 ऑर्डर्स भी पर डे टाइप्स आने लग गए थे.
5,000 तक पहुंच गया था हमारा वेबसाइट.
तो वो क्या लीवर्स थे जिसने से स्केल अनलॉक कर दिया था उस टाइम पे?
पहले हमने लॉन्च किया था नवंबर 2017 में हमारा वेबसाइट. When we decided to go online first.
वेबसाइट, ओके.
The good part about online business is 0 to 1 takes time.
या
तो एक साल में went from 0 orders a day on our website to 50 orders a day on the website. But जब आप 50 orders per day कर रहे हो at 30% customer acquisition cost, 700 रुपए की एवरेज ऑर्डर वैल्यू है, पहले ऑर्डर पे आप ब्रेक इवन कर रहे हो, तो वहां से आप स्केल कर सकते हो इजिली, राइट? सो इट्स लाइक मैं ड्राइविंग सीख रहा हूँ. आई लर्न टू ड्राइव माई कार. इट टुक मी वेरी लॉन्ग टू फिगर आउट हाउ टू पुट द कार इनटू गियर, फर्स्ट गियर. बट जब मुझे समझ आया कि क्लच ऐसे प्रेस करना है और गाड़ी फर्स्ट गियर में आ गया, तो फिर वहां से सेकंड, थर्ड, फोर्थ गियर मुझे समझ आया बहुत इजीली. व्हेन वी गॉट द कार ऑन फर्स्ट गियर, रीच 50 orders a day, वी गॉट आवर फंडिंग. 15 करोड़ रुपए रेज किया हमने. एट दैट टाइम वी न्यू एग्जैक्टली कि 50 लाख पर मंथ के 40 लाख पर मंथ को कैसे स्केल करना है, बिकॉज वी हैड द PMF एट दैट टाइम व्हेन वी रेज्ड द मनी, एंड देन वी रीच्ड फ्रॉम 40 lakhs to 8 crores a month. So I say Dr. Vaidya's online journey is split into 2 phases. November 2017 to June, July 2019, which is getting the car in first gear. फिर funding उठा के from July 2019 till April 2021, which is less than 2 years, the business grew from 40 lakhs a month to 8 crores a month.
ये फर्स्ट 2 years में आपकी टीम साइज क्या थी जुलाई 19 तक?
Started with 6 people.
Okay.
I think we had
Mainly
reached...
for marketing?
नहीं. There were like 3 people in the factory. My wife, me and 1 person. ऐसे start किया था हमारी कंपनी है. I think we were about 25 people by the time we raised funding. End में we were 150 people.
Okay. इन सबकी सैलरीज वो सब ऑलरेडी वेबसाइट से जितना सेल आ रहा था वो हो रहा था मैनेज?
Salaries तो मैनेज हो रहे थे, but we were scared to pay people, honestly. तो
Okay.
we were scared to hire senior resources. So the most senior person in our team had a salary, had a revenue run rate of 100 crores a year. was 18 lakhs per annum or 21 lakhs
क्या
per
बात
annum.
कर रहा हूँ? ओके.
बस हम डरते थे ना ये एक्सपेंसिव लोगों को हायर करेंगे तो फिर क्या होगा.
ज़्यादा पावर भी, कंट्रोल भी आप दे रहे हैं?
पावर कंट्रोल नहीं, ऐसा था कि सैलरी बहुत ज़्यादा होगा, बिजनेस स्केल नहीं होगा, तो फिर कैसे करेंगे, कैसे मैनेज कर पाएंगे. आई हैड वन गाय फ्रॉम Unilever, माय सेल्स टीम. ही लेफ्ट इन 3 months. सर आपके साथ काम नहीं करना है बिकॉज आपके पास पैसा नहीं है. अब व्हाट डू मीन इज लाइक 7 crore 10 crore का मार्केटिंग बजट नहीं है तो हमें काम ही नहीं करना आता है. सो देन आई वाज आल्सो लाइक आई नीड स्टार्टअप पीपल एक्सेट्रा दैट. एंड स्टार्टअप इकोसिस्टम D2C इकोसिस्टम वाज बीइंग बिल्ट. अभी आपको D2C में किसी को हायर करना है तो उन्होंने ऑलरेडी 3-4 साल में भी काम किया है D2C में. हमारे जमाने में वर लाइक आवर हेड ऑफ कस्टमर सर्विस यूज्ड टू वर्क एट HDFC कस्टमर सर्विस बिफोर. कोई था ही नहीं ना, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर ही नहीं था. आई वुड से इट्स मच इजियर टू बिल्ड अ D2C बिजनेस टुडे देन इट वाज एट दैट टाइम बिकॉज वेयरहाउस का जब हमने बनाया तो हमने ड्राइंग किया था ऐसे रैक्स करने हैं. अभी सबको पता है रैक्स कैसे करने हैं. वेयरहाउस मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम, ऑर्डर मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम, ये सब हमने बनाया. शिपरॉकेट की प्रोडक्ट हमारे सामने बनी है. Like Shiprocket was built on feedback from brands like Dr. Vaidya's Mamaearth, etc. All of that. Trisha used to do 1-1 hour calls with the founders. कि ये भी फीचर चाहिए, ये भी फीचर चाहिए, ये भी फीचर चाहिए.
वहाँ से आई थिंक आपका जो फर्स्ट फंड रेज हुआ था, आई स्पीक टू अ लॉट ऑफ फाउंडर्स टुडे जो फर्स्ट टाइम फंड रेज कर रहे हैं, कंपनी रजिस्ट्रेशन से लेके फंड रेज तक. बहुत सारे राइट्स हैं, अग्रीमेंट्स हैं. एक बार आप क्विकली शेयर होल्डर अग्रीमेंट समझाएंगे क्या होता है, प्लस इक्विटी वर्सेस वेंचर डेट, CCPS, CCD, इसमें डिफरेंस क्या है?
I'll make it simple, right? I think shareholder agreement is the agreement with which you bring an investor in. तो ये shareholder agreement में there are, by the way, 2 types of instruments of investment in a company. एक होता है primary, दूसरा होता है secondary.
Yes.
Most people don't understand what is primary and secondary.
Yeah.
In most cases जब आप early stage कर रहे हो in fundraise तो आप primary पैसा raise करते हो. Primary पैसा means आपकी company में पैसा जा रहा है. तो let's say आपका 100 crore का valuation है, आपका 80 crore का वैल्यूएशन है अज्यूम, और आप 20 crore रेज कर रहे हो, तो आप 25% डाइल्यूशन नहीं कर रहे हो, आप 20% डाइल्यूशन कर रहे हो बिकॉज यू आर रेजिंग 20 crores, योर कंपनी हैज 80 crore वैल्यूएशन बट 20 crores कैश. तो एक्चुअल स्टेक जो 20 crore डाल रहा है वो 20/80 नहीं है, वो 20/80 प्लस 20/100 है. दैट इज हाउ यू गेट टू 20%. तो अगर आप प्राइमरी पैसा रेज कर रहे हो तो वो भी पैसा आपकी कंपनी में जाती है. And that cash is added to your valuation. And so 20 crores at 80 crore pre is 20%, not 25%. But अगर आपकी valuation 80 crore है और आप secondary कर रहे हो, which means कोई share बेच रहा है आपकी कंपनी में, तो आपकी कंपनी में वो 20 crore रुपए नहीं आएगा. कोई shares बेच के 20 crore रुपए पाएगा. And that means that at 80 crore valuation, 20 crores worth of shares is 25% of the company. So the biggest mistake founders make is to think कि जब मैंने 20 crore उठाया और मेरा पोस्ट मनी वैल्यूएशन 100 crore है और I own 60% of the business, my net worth is 60 crores. No, that share is not liquid. On paper it's worth 60 crores, but if you go to sell the share tomorrow, there's a very high chance you won't get any buyer because first round of funding के बाद कोई secondary देता ही नहीं है. Second round, third round के बाद थोड़ा secondary मिलता है, and finally at a later stage you get a full secondary, right? So that's the difference between primary and secondary. What is the difference between equity and debt?
Venture debt.
Equity investor is a risk-prone investor, is an investor who's willing to ride the tide with you. This investor will stay on your cap table. आपको उनको return देना है, but you are not contractually bound to give that return. In best case, in best effort basis, after 5 years, you're supposed to give the investor an exit, but in a lot of cases, it may not be possible. And if it's not possible, there is no contractual obligation for you or any penalty for you to not give any return. Yes, of course, you have promised an investor a return, they have taken stake in your company, वो stake ले रहे हैं to get an exit and to make money. But अगर नहीं भी हुआ, the founder is not liable. On the other hand, when you take debt, any kind of debt, venture debt, revenue-based financing, you are contractually bound to pay that debt back with the interest in a stipulated period of time. Yes, sometimes you get some amount of moratorium, sometimes you get some amount of restructuring of debt if you can't pay it, but at the end you have to pay the debt, which means अगर आपका कंपनी का कोई लिक्विडेशन हुआ तो पहले आपके डेट प्रोवाइडर्स को पैसा मिलेगा, फिर आपके वेंडर्स को पैसा मिलेगा, फिर आपको पैसा मिलेगा, फिर आपके इन्वेस्टर्स को पैसा मिलेगा, फिर आपको पैसा मिलेगा एज अ फाउंडर, राइट? सो डेट इज अ कॉन्ट्रैक्चुअल ऑब्लिगेशन. मीन इट्स नॉट इक्विटी, दे आर नॉट टेकिंग अ रिस्क, दे आर नॉट सेइंग कि अगर 5 गुना हो गया तो हम वो ले लेंगे. नहीं, इफ यू हैव टेकन डेट एट 13.5% फॉर एक्स अमाउंट ऑफ पीरियड, at the end of that period, you have to pay the principal back plus the interest of 13.5% per year for 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, etc. That's the difference between equity and venture debt. Debt is an obligation for the founder to pay it back. Equity is a best effort basis to create the return, but that person is a shareholder in your company. And so when an equity investor comes on your cap table, they're sitting on the same side of the table as you. They're your shareholders, they're your board, they're working with you, they want you to grow, and you're on the same side of the table.
Or what is the difference between CCPS and CCD?
CCPS and CCD. CCPS is a preference share, but that is an equity share eventually, right? That means that the investors agreed to a valuation. That valuation, basis that valuation and how much money they are putting, they have an equity holding in the company. A CCD on the other hand is a convertible note. A convertible note means I don't know what the valuation of a company is today. So I will set certain terms of what the valuation of a company can be, which means I'm giving you 20 crore rupees. I'm investing this 20 crore at a 20% discount to next round, whatever that next round will be, whenever it will happen. The floor is, the minimum valuation would be 80 crores. The maximum valuation would be 160 crores. This CCD instrument sits as debt on your books and converts only when a financing round happens. And that financing round can be any round above 20 crores or 30 crores or whatever you can set. But agar 18 months or 24 months, whatever the term of the CCD is, you're not able to raise that qualified financing round, and this 20 crores converts at the floor. And the floor will be 80 crores or whatever is pre-agreed. So it's a debt investment technically, which converts basis certain conditions, basis a cap, floor and a discount rate, but has a term. And if that term, in a few cases there's no term, in a few cases there's no cap and no floor, but at the end of that term, it will have to convert into CCPS or equity.
So matlab, first time fundraise mein, is it not mandatory to disclose the valuation?
You can raise money through an iSafe note or a CCD. I like to invest in equity rounds because I want to know the valuation which I'm investing. The only time I do convertibles as an investor is अगर मैंने already company में पैसा डाला है और next round हो रहा है और 6 महीने थोड़ा runway extend करना है तो मैं पहले पैसा डालता हूँ and I say I'll get a discount based on the money I've put earlier on the next investor's valuation. Founders like CCDs because they can discover the valuation later, but as an investor, I'm not doing a CCD at the early stage. There's no chance. I'm not taking that risk.
Shareholder agreement maybe depends on the founder or depends on the investor who will make the agreement, because there's this drag along rights, tag along rights.
We call it holding the pen, right? Sometimes the founder wants to hold the pen, sometimes the investor wants to hold the pen. जो भी template, जो भी बनाता है template, it doesn't matter, right? Because finally the founder wants the rights that the founder wants and the investor wants the rights that the investor wants. And so at the end of the day, SHA is based on negotiation. Founder template बनाएगा, investor के rights नहीं है, तो इन्वेस्टर के लॉयर के इन्वेस्टर बोल देगा कि मुझे ये राइट्स चाहिए, and then that negotiation happens. So even if the founder creates the agreement, finally the terms are put in. This is a negotiation of two parties and a win-win situation for both parties.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a lot of discussion on SHA as well that founders get scared of SHA legal terms, etc. I think you cannot completely rely on your lawyer.
Yeah.
I've done an SHA myself, and of course there are a lot of terms I didn't understand. My lawyer was a friend of my dad. He told me, Arjun, you'll read this 50-page document cover to cover and you'll ask me any question. Finally, you are signing this document, Arjun. I'm not signing this document. जब आपका exit हो रहा है कि आप investor के साथ deal कर रहे हो, I'll not be in every conversation. And you are liable with your signature on this document to honor this document, not me. So understand every term and don't just sign like, हाँ, ठीक है. And so every time I'm doing an SHA or I'm doing a term sheet with the founder, I say, I'll get on call, my lawyers will get on call, they'll explain everything to you. Be 100% sure what you are signing up for before you sign up. I can tell you, I want this, I want this, I want this. Finally, you have to also sign.
Yeah.
Nobody can force you to sign any document.
Yeah.
So you have to be 100% sure कि ये drag along right क्या है, ये tag along right क्या है, मेरे shares vest होंगे 4 साल में, what is reverse vesting. All of these things are very important for founders to know, and you cannot take it casually.
Yeah.
Because once you sign that document, you're liable to honor everything you sign on that document.
100%. I think the shareholder agreement before it's executed is called as a term sheet.
नहीं. Term sheet is an offer that is binding or non-binding depending on the structure, that says that the investor will do due diligence on the company, after which they will enter into a shareholder agreement. What is due diligence? It is that Muskan has come to me. She says she has an ice cream business. She's doing 1 crore a month. She's doing 70% gross margin and 10% EBITDA. ये मुस्कान ने मुझे बताया है. Muskan could be, in most cases, Muskan is speaking the truth, but in some cases, Muskan could be lying as well. And so before an investor invests the money, they have to verify that what you are saying in your deck and your presentation of MIS is actually true. So they'll verify that with GST records, they'll verify that with bank statements, they'll verify that the vendors, they'll check all of these things before they make the investment. So it's term sheet, which has an exclusivity period. That means in the next 60 days, we'll do a due diligence and then move to SHA. Term sheet, due diligence, eventually SHA, SPS signing, and then closure of agreement, grant of shares, etc.
तो शार्क टैंक के 15 मिनट में इन्वेस्ट कैसे करे लोग प्रेजेंटेशन देख के?
नहीं करते. I've also been on a TV show, Idea Buzz.
Yeah.
We may make a commitment basis what we know at that time.
Okay.
The investor may understand the basics of the business. पहले तो 15 मिनट में नहीं होता है. आपको टीवी पे 15 मिनट दिखता है. वो 90 minutes to 120 minutes चलता है.
Per founder.
Per founder. In 90 minutes to 120 minutes, you can only know so much about a person's background, about a person's business, about what they're saying. And you take what they are saying on face value as truth. Of course, right? I cannot doubt that what they're saying is false, etc. All of that. So I take what they're saying on face value as truth. But then उसके बाद due diligence होता है. SHA negotiation होते हैं. तो I would say minimum from the day you meet the founder, at least 3 से 4 महीने लग जाते हैं. Maybe after the airing, it takes 1 month or 2 months because you shoot 2-3 months before the airing of the episode. But from the time you meet the founder, 3 से 4 महीने लग जाते हैं.
But after you've signed the check and you go back and in a month you realize, do you take the check back? कि मेरे को due diligence में पता चली ये चीज़ है.
If the founder is not speaking the truth,
yeah,
of course you take the check. Of course you do. And you can't do anything about it, right?
Yeah.
The founder is not speaking the truth. If something has changed, what do you do?
After an exit, the founders generally, they lose hunger. What happened to you when you exited back then?
I don't know if founders lose hunger. I think some founders may lose hunger. See, I think after an exit, I don't care for money. In the sense, I'm not acting like some philosopher or something like that. Of course, I think money allows you to have financial freedom, independence, a certain quality of life. But मुझे कोई private plane नहीं खरीदना है. मुझे कोई sports car नहीं खरीदना है. मुझे luxury, highest end of luxury lifestyle में कोई interest नहीं है. तो घर खरीद लिया in the same building as my parents. That's pretty much all I need, right? And so the money didn't change my life. Yes, buying a house in my parents' building, having my own house, that was a great feeling for me. But उसके बाद फिर 1 more 0 doesn't make a difference, right? To me, I'm saying this is my personality. Other people may have differently.
Yeah.
But I don't have some crazy expenses. I don't have some crazy wants for materialistic things. So nothing changed for me. I still work. Maybe I don't work as hard. Maybe I work 80% as hard. But I work
What are
hard.
you saying?
I work very hard.
Yeah.
I still work hard. And I'll continue to work hard. I'm not Yuvraj Singh. I'm Chiteshwar Pujara. I don't get anything in life easily. I don't have talent. But I am the hardest worker in the room. For all football fans, there's a player called Park Ji-sung that played in a very, very good Manchester United team that won the 2008 Champions League, etc. Nobody remembers him. He was an untalented or reasonably talented but hardest working, ran the most miles in the game, had the most stamina kind of player. He is my icon. I want to be like him. मैं जब sports भी खेलता हूँ, ऐसे कोई hand-eye coordination का problem था since I was a kid. I was the captain of my school cricket team. I couldn't catch a ball. If you threw a ball high in the air and you made me catch it, drop the ball. That's what I grew up with, right? I've not been talented at sport. I've not got anything easy in life. And so I know that my mode is to be the hardest worker in the room, and I'll continue to be the hardest worker in the room. I'll be more consistent than anybody else. I may not reach there very fast, but by the time I reach there, you would have left already. Or you would have given up. I'm not giving up.
As creators भी हम बोलते हैं, our mode is consistency.
I post a video every single day.
Yeah.
Every single day. I post a LinkedIn post 5 times a week. I'm not changing that. And some people tell me, yeah, Arjun, there is no aura or mystique around Arjun Vaidya. You're easily accessible. कोई भी WhatsApp करता है, आप reply करते हो. आप अभी ये position पे हो, तो you should not be so accessible. I said, क्यों? I am who I am. I don't mind people who want a mystique and an aura, by the way. Like my friend Aman Gupta keeps telling me, कि भाई क्या aura है, क्या vibe है? And I say, that's you, right? You're cool. I'm not cool. And this is my personality, right? I'll reply to everyone. I'll do things for people. I'll pick up their call. I'll help founder even at 11 at night. That's my vibe and my person. I'm not going to not be who I am. Because this is the person I am. You said you spoke to 10, 12 people about me, founders, etc. All of that. Everybody will come back and say, यार Arjun, try तो करता है reply करने के लिए. हेल्प तो करता है, अगर हेल्प कर पाएगा तो रिप्लाई करता है, फोन पे बात कर लेगा. इन्वेस्ट करेगा कि नहीं करेगा, आई कांट इन्वेस्ट इन एवरी कंपनी इन इंडिया. आई वुड लव टू बट आई कांट. बट एटलीस्ट दैट इज माई पर्सनैलिटी, राइट? एंड इफ यू आस्क माई फ्रेंड्स, इफ यू आस्क माई फैमिली, दैट्स हू आई एम. Someone told me once, nice guys finish last. So don't be such a nice guy. I don't believe that. I'll always be a nice guy.
I think speaking to more founders has developed a lot of more empathy in you rather than being little, distant from them.
I think empathy तो automatically आ जाता है. आपने founder journey live किया है. आपने
That
देखा है
makes you
investors
humble.
कैसे आपके साथ बात करते हैं. Which investors you like, which investors you didn't like. So I think empathy has always been there, but it's not because I'm a nice guy. It's because I've been a founder. Also, I'm a nice guy, yes, but I've been a founder.
How is you spoke about being a creator, you post every single day. How is that creator journey coming up? Like when you started posting in the first days after just, being an investor, how did people take it?
Initially तो लोग बोलते हैं कि इतना post करता रहता है, क्यों, nobody cares, etc. all of that, right? Because your posts get 50 likes and 1,000 impressions and 2,000 impressions. So I guess nobody cares, right? And so people say कि यार क्यों करता रहता है? My LinkedIn feed is only you. I'm bored of seeing your posts.
Really?
And then suddenly some switch flips, right? Because it starts doing well.
Yeah.
And the content starts doing well and people start appreciating it. And then people are like, "Arey, amazing content. I follow it. I really like it, etc." all of that. So yaar, I think I don't call myself a creator because I have a lot of respect for creators who put in effort. You put in a lot of effort. You host this podcast. You followed up with me. You coordinated with me. There are a lot of people who put in a lot of effort into their creation journey. I think I'm not as good as those people. I don't have the bandwidth. I don't have the time, and I don't do it. But I use my platform to share a message, to help founders, to get connected to more founders, etc. all of that. And I do a decent job. I wouldn't say I'm the best creator in the world, but as a VC, I'm probably the best creator in India right now.
VCs don't put themselves out in the market.
They don't now, if you do, but like for now, I own that space. And there's a conscious decision. Today, a founder who's 21 years old won't even know about the story of Dr. Vaidya's. But they follow Arjun Vaidya on social media. They've seen him. चलो follow नहीं करते तो देखा तो है.
Yeah.
आप startup ecosystem में हो तो मेरा वीडियो एक तो देखा होगा, एक तो देखा होगा ना. And that establishes a connect. If I write to a founder, they know who I am.
Yeah.
And that helps break the ice and have the conversation.
But that makes you help money as well. You get brand deals. You're at 4 lakh followers.
Yeah.
That's a good ROI for you.
I don't do the work of a creator like a normal creator does. So I don't take all the brand deals. I work with people I like, all of those kind of things. But at 4 lakh followers with a unique niche, I think you can make good money from this. I don't, because I have other things going on in my life and I'm not able to give it so much time and attention. But if I was, you can make good money.
Okay. Arjun, as an investor, you have said in one of your interviews that it's a missing game. What is it exactly? Can you elaborate?
Look, you meet 1,000 companies a year. I can invest in only 10. So I say no to 990. I'm just saying random numbers. Right? It's probably like 1,500 companies here or something. I don't know what the number is. तो 990 लोगों को ना बोला है, राइट? उसमें से 30-40 कंपनीज अच्छे निकलेंगे, वो आप मिस करेंगे. So a famous VC told me, he said, Arjun, it's not about the companies you miss. And I've started a series on my Instagram, you'll see it now, called my anti-portfolio. Outstanding companies that I met, I had the chance to invest in, I didn't invest, why I didn't invest at the time and why they proved me wrong. No VC has the guts to say this. I'm saying it publicly on my social media. हम सब VC के लैपटॉप पे लिखा है anti-portfolio ये वो, मैं openly बोल रहा हूँ कि Let's Try came to me, or Zepto came to me, or Pilgrim came to me, or Mokobara came to me, or XYXX came to me. All these businesses came to me and I said no. And why did I say Inito came to me? Why did I say no? And why did these businesses become successful? And how did the founders prove me wrong? So you will have 10 bullets to shoot a year, let's assume, right? Your job is to get 9 out of those 10 bullets right and not worry about the 30 you've missed. Because out of the 30, you missed 30, but you also said no to 950 bad companies also, or not so great companies, right?
But once these founders and the brands come to you, in the first 10 minutes, what are you evaluating in that founder?
You know whether they are genuine, they are driven to the mission, they care about what they are doing, and their clarity of thought. That you get to know. Do I get to know in 10 minutes whether I want to make an investment or not? Sometimes I do. I'll give you an example recently. There's a company called Nook. You know Nook?
Yeah.
Consumer appliances company. We couldn't do it from our fund for whatever reason. I met Ghazal and Shalab. I knew Shalab from before. He was also in the Ayurveda business at some point. 15 minutes, I said, guys, I'm investing. It's done.
What are you saying? Crazy.
You guys are on. You know what you're doing. You're great founders. You're very clear. Your brand is clear. I'm on. मैं पैसा डाल रहा हूँ आपकी कंपनी में.
आपने उनका प्रेजेंटेशन देखा? Or just met them and heard
आधा प्रेजेंटेशन देखा. And मुझे चमका कि ये लोग करेंगे. And they've done it. They proved it. So few times you get it. But then there's a business called Hosteler, for example, right? They just raised 100 CR now. It's the largest chain of backpacking hostels in the country. I met Pranav 7-8 times over a 4-month period and said no to him 3 times. But he didn't take no for an answer. He said, you're the only VC who listened. I am going to take your money. And eventually I invested. So that was not clear to me on meeting one. He was good, but it wasn't clear to me. Not because of him, because I didn't know if I wanted to invest in backpacking hostels and hospitality. I didn't know.
That was your... Oh, you invested and it was your first.
I invested in the business, but I invested after meeting him 8 times and saying no to him 3 times. Then he sent me such a long email at the end saying, this is why you're wrong and I'm going to prove it to you. And then I said, यार ये बंदे में कुछ है और business में कुछ है. और कोई और VC फंड ने ले तो what does that doesn't mean that it's a bad business. Nobody sees it right now. Now they raised 100 CR more after our first investment.
उनके so there's a lot of talks. सबके बहुत different opinions होते हैं about a pitch deck. If you can just quickly let us know what are the 5 things that you see in a pitch deck.
First, I'll say my 30-20-10 rule, which I love saying.
Yeah.
Font size 30, less than 20 slides, and should be able to be read in less than 10 minutes. Because most VCs are now accessing these pitch decks on their phone. So if you say 80 slide pitch deck, I'm lost. What are the 5 things you need in a pitch deck? What is the problem and your solution? Number 1. Number 2, how big is the market and your addressable market?
The TAM, okay.
Number 3, TAM, SAM, SOM, whatever you call it, right? What is the traction? Or what is my unique insight? What is my R&D? What's the product I've built, etc., all of that. Number 4, who is the team and why are they the right team to build this? The founders, maybe you have advisors, maybe you have some team members who've been hired from relevant places. And number 5, how much money I'm raising and what exactly will I use the money for? These are the 5 questions that come in my mind when I want to see a pitch deck. If these are not answered, then I don't know the full story.
But money, ये exactly कहाँ पे use होगा? ये clarity pitch deck में ही होती है?
Absolutely. There is a pie chart at the end of every good pitch deck, which says approximately 20% used on working capital, 50% used in marketing, 10% used for team, 20% used for R&D, etc., all of that.
If there's a founder who's come to you who's doing like 30-40 lakhs a month types, what would be your suggestion that the founder should do the very next thing to focus on?
Hard to say because every business is different. But I have a view on consumer businesses.
Okay.
And that view is that sales solves everything. If a founder is doing 2 lakhs a month, they'll have 1,000 questions in their mind. When that founder is doing 20 lakhs a month, they'll have 100 questions in their mind. When the founder is doing 2 crores a month, they'll have 10 questions in their mind. When they're doing 20 crores a month, they won't have any questions. Because you ask who will be the customer, what will they do, how will they react, what will their feedback be, etc., all of that. But really, if the customer is paying money and they're buying your product and it's not delivering or it's delivering, they will tell you. And so sales gives you real customers and real customer feedback, as well as real customer insight on what's working, what's not working, what your ROAS is. That solves all your problems as a founder. So I always tell founders, जाके बेचो, फिर पता चलेगा. ये focus group से कुछ नहीं पता चलता है.
क्यों अगर लॉस में उन लोग का फिर भी सेल्स आ रहा है तो do you care about profitability?
I do care about profitability, but in day 90 of a company, I'm not looking for profit. If they're profitable on day 90, great. But will I hold it against a founder who's not profitable on day 90? No. Okay, if a founder is not profitable in the 4th year of the business, yes, I have a problem. If the founder is losing money on every order in the 2nd year of a business, I have a problem. If the unit economics are positive and they're burning their fixed costs, I'm okay. And on day 90, I don't care. Whether you make 1 lakh profit or 1 lakh loss, I don't care. Not interested.
How should a founder think in terms of AOV versus frequency versus retention?
Depends on the category.
Apparels ले लो.
Apparel में AOV is more important because frequency आप हर हफ्ते के हर महीने कपड़े नहीं खरीदने वाले हो from the same brand. In a few cases you may, right? Like a Snitch, which is a wide menswear brand, you may. But otherwise you're not going to buy clothes, fashion, lifestyle, beds, chairs, tables every month. And so AOV and unit economics on first order is very important. As compared to a Lenskart or an Amazon or a minimalist, a beauty personal care company, a health and wellness company, वहाँ पहले ऑर्डर पे आप लूज कर सकते हो बिकॉज दूसरे तीसरे ऑर्डर पे आप पैसा बनाएंगे एंड If the customer likes about it, they'll come back 2, 3, 4 times. I have bought from Lenskart in the last 3 years 40 times for my wife, lenses plus glasses.
Oh, okay.
So even if they lost money on the first 10 orders, they've made a lot of money now on me as a customer.
You take the example of Snitch, okay? They are online plus offline. If they came to you like 4 years back,
They did come to me and I didn't invest.
one of your anti-portfolio content that we're going to see?
Absolutely. And he's a very good friend of mine, Sid. कल ही उसने कुछ मोहम्मद सिराज के साथ एक कोलैब किया था. So I'm friends with him and Siraj. So they send me the products. Outstanding founder. हमारी गलती है, हमने इन्वेस्ट नहीं किया.
Because offline भी जाने वाला था वो इसलिए?
नहीं, I think VCs are scared of fashion because there's a big inventory risk in fashion. You don't understand a fashion business just from the P&L. You have to look at the balance sheet to look at the cash flow, inventory position and aged inventory. So generally VCs are like fashion आज in है, कल out होगा तो फिर कैसे चलेगा etc. So you'll see VCs invest in underwear. You'll see VCs invest in essentials, basics, athleisure. Yeah, इतना fashion risk नहीं है. But Sid was just too good. Too good. What an operator. Outstanding.
Yeah. What is a pattern that you've noticed in those founders जो बहुत early stage में आपके पास आते हैं?
I think from the thousands of founders I meet, everybody is different. But what I notice now is कि आज के founders में बहुत confidence है compared to when we were building, right? 100 करोड़ कोई बड़ी चीज़ नहीं है. जब हम build कर रहे थे 100 करोड़, it's like how can I reach there? And it's like some unicorn, mythical being that is so far away, etc. अभी तो बोलते हैं यार 300 करोड़ कर लेंगे, no problem, हो जाएगा, चलेगा, बड़ा है मार्केट. बहुत एग्जाम्पल्स भी देखे हैं ना. ये ब्रांड ने 3 साल में 100 करोड़ तक पहुंचा दिया बिजनेस. सुपर यू हैज क्रॉस्ड 200 crores almost in 12 months or 15 months. So anything is possible and founders come with that confidence, which I wasn't there when I was building.
And what's a red flag that you instantly notice?
No passion towards the problem, just market अच्छा है, बड़ा है, लोग बात कर
Fancy
रहे हैं, ट्रेंड है. तो फिर देखो जो भी हम बिजनेस बना रहे हैं, it's a long game, right? And so if you're not passionate about what you're building, then 3 साल बाद आप निकल जाएंगे बिजनेस से. Like there's a big problem in the startup ecosystem right now that nobody's talking about. That is co-founder exits.
Yeah.
COVID में बहुत businesses बने हैं where 2 people with complementary skill sets who didn't know each other started a business together, right? And then 2 साल बाद, 3 साल बाद they realize they don't get along with each other. One guy has lost interest and so 20% equity has vested on the cap table, but that person is saying अभी मैं तो investor हूँ आपकी कंपनी में, मैं board member हूँ, मैं नहीं चला रहा हूँ. And then the dead equity person who's not incentivized, how do you get them an exit? It's very confusing and complicated.
If you had to break down your investment thesis into 80-20, how would that look like?
What does that mean?
You have an investment thesis, right? Like I see a company, I see a founder and I have to invest right now. What is your thesis there?
Okay. So I think 50% my decision will be on the founder. Who is that founder? Why will they fight through tough times? Why do they have a right to win? Usually because I invest early stage. As you go later, it's less on the founder, more on the business. But 50% for me is on the founder.
Okay.
20% people don't talk about is market कितना बड़ा है अभी और market में scope है कि ये business बड़ा हो जाएगा. Let's say for example, I'm investing in the wine business, right? And Vol investors had invested in Sula and now exited. Sula did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
But the wine market didn't grow as fast. And so Sula may have 50-60% market share, but if the wine market's growing at 10% year on year, the business can't grow at more than 10-20%. So does the market have enough scope or enough room or enough size for this business to grow 10x in 5 years? That's the minimum I want, right? I want a 10 times growth in 5 years. If the market is only not supporting, मैं क्या करूँ? Right? So for example, 5 years ago, local zero sugar ice cream market ही नहीं था. अब भी market है. So 5 years ago, I wouldn't have wanted to invest in Go Zero. But 3 years ago, 2 years ago, I invested in Go Zero. Right? So that's the difference. So 20% on market and then 30% on numbers.
Metrics.
P&L, revenue, gross margin, bottom line, EBITDA, repeat rate, frequency, lifetime value, and also who is the team. Founder is in the first 50% bucket, but team kaun hai? And can this team build with this founder to create a large outcome?
So basically, जो brands अभी category creation के towards हैं, that is not of much interest to you.
No, I wouldn't say so because I have to be able to believe that category will become big. There are certain categories that have skyrocketed, right? For example, anyone who launched anything to do with protein over the last 3-4 year period.
I was coming to that.
5 years ago, people are not talking so much about protein. Abhi Amul apne kulfi mein protein content batata hai. 5 साल पहले ये नहीं था. So categorization is okay as long as you see the wave and you're able to back that wave. But if you do a categorization play and the category is only not created, it's a very risky place to be in.
Yeah. Any category you are very bullish on right now?
Many categories. I
The
think
top
I'm
three.
very bullish on specific beauty personal care businesses.
Specific beauty and personal care.
Not a mammoth or anti-aging company like Be Clinical or multifunctional company like Antinom or body care company like Lani. Specific. Indian customers graduated from एक brand से मैं सब कुछ ले लूंगा तो मुझे समझ आता है अभी hyaluronic acid क्या है और विटामिन सी सीरम क्या है, क्या कंटेंट होना चाहिए विटामिन सी सीरम में ताकि ये effective है. Even a tier 3 customer knows this now. Because there's Reddit and there's freely available information. So specific companies solving real problems in beauty personal care because beauty personal care is large market now. तो ऐसा random general brand नहीं बनेगा अभी specific brands बनेंगे. Minimalist exited right now. This is a specific brand. Active based skincare, right? I'm extremely bullish on sports, fitness, health, nutrition. India is going through a big wave. 10,000 people or 8,000 people competing in high rocks and spending 8,000, 9,000 rupees to go there. Not a joke at all. Not a joke at all. So now when I meet someone, they're not asking me कि आपने investment में क्या किया है, आपकी बेटी कैसी है. They're like, how was your paddle game?
Yeah.
How was your high rocks?
Yeah.
Are you running the marathon? How do you prepare? What supplements are you taking? So this is real, right? And it's going to go forward.
Yeah.
And the last category I'll say is, I think lifestyle. Not apparel, but jewelry, watches, sunglasses, handbags, bags. This category is going to do very well.
You know this brand, Sam & Marshall?
Yeah.
From Abdus? What do you think about it?
I mean, I've been mentoring him since they were doing 5 lakhs a month. I have only Sam & Marshall sunglasses in my home. He's selling expensive sunglasses, 3,500 rupees. But outstanding design and people are buying. People are very happy to buy. So 5 years ago, no one would believe that someone will buy an Indian brand of sunglasses, but it's an outstanding product. I only wear Sam & Marshall.
Yeah.
Exclusively. He sends me 10 pairs every quarter. And my full family is wearing it. That's a big difference in India today, right? Like, I was at the airport on Sunday, coming back from my long weekend break. I was waiting for my bag. I was looking at the bags coming. Uppercase का आ रहा था, Mokobara का आ रहा था, Assembly का आ रहा था, Yumi का आ रहा था, Samsonite का भी थोड़ा बहुत आ रहा था. But VIP का बैग आ रहा नहीं था. Because the Indian customer is saying, यार मैं travel के लिए जा रहा हूँ तो I want a sexy looking bag.
Yeah.
And by the way, they're not black and brown bags. There was a red and an orange and a green and a pink bag coming. And that's a big change. Indian customer is saying, I'll spend, boss. If it looks good, I'll spend. Because मैं travel के लिए जाता हूँ 3-4 बार साल में for a holiday. तो मेरा बैग भी अच्छा दिखना चाहिए ना. If I'm looking good, my bag should also look good.
Yeah.
My shoes should also look good. My watch should also look good. My sunglasses should look good. My t-shirt should look good. And I'll pay 2x, 3x the price. Why not?
Same with Nasha Miles.
Same with Nasha Miles. Outstanding brand, great products.
Yeah. Any category that you think कि अभी founders they're overbuilding in this category right now? It's too crowded.
I think longevity is overhyped.
Okay.
I'm into it, by the way. But I think India में इतना बड़ा market नहीं है longevity का अब. हो जाएगा with time, but we've not reached that level of development that someone will spend 2 lakhs a year on blood tests and supplements just to live, have the chance to live longer, etc. We've not reached there outside of an elite group of people.
Okay. What do you think is the difference between an early traction in a company versus a product market fit? When do you think कि हो गया इसका product market fit up? और वो numbers vary कर सकता है across categories and companies, right?
When a large set of customers is repeating consistently, that is product market fit. Early traction is sales. Sales आ रहे हैं, लोग ले रहे हैं. That's good when you start. 1,000 customers हो गए. But when a large set of customers is repeating consistently, it shows that the product the story has incited a first purchase, but the delivery of the experience has incited the customer to come back 2-3 times. That is product market fit.
Interesting. What do you think about influencer-led brands in today's date?
I think it's a super addition to the D2C ecosystem. I think there have been lots of failures and a few successes. There will be many more successes. But in every influencer or creator-led brand, there has to be the influencer, the creator as the CMO or the brand face. But there also has to be a CEO or a CEO who knows D2C very well. Because it is a D2C business. And if you don't have the operations, logistics, supply chain, customer service, warehousing, packaging all in place, a celebrity can't sell that product. And so the right combination of the good face with a great operator. And if you see Super U, Nikunj, if you see Pulmona's Pallavi, if you see Hyphen, Tarun, Vaishali and the M Caffeine team,
With Kriti.
all of these businesses have really hardcore quality operators behind a great face. Without that operator, the business is not going to exist and scale.
Great face, great operators and great storytellers.
Face storytelling kar sakta hai. That face is big enough to tell the story. But the operator has to be able to know which product to launch, when, what sale to run, what inventory to stock, how to do the delivery, how to engage with the customer, WhatsApp automation कैसे करना है, ये सब operator कर पाएगा.
What do you think is the definition of a high performance team, especially in the senior management?
Functional heads who are smarter than the founder in their function.
Wow.
For example, my operations person has to be better than me at operations. And my CFO has to be better than me at finance. I can be the best CEO of the company. But in their specific function, they have to be better than me.
When you started building Dr. Vaidya's Bay, there was a particular time where you thought that we are a team of 6 people now. Now we need senior people, senior management in our company.
I think जब funding मिली तब मुझे guts मिले.
कि पैसे दे सकते हैं, ले सकते हैं. और बिना fundraise के, when is the time for a founder कि अब हम hire कर सकते हैं किसी senior person को? We can ask the person to quit their 9 to 5.
If your P&L can support it. Because the worst thing you can do is spend 50 lakhs on a branding agency when you've not launched the business.
It's mainly monetary.
Your P&L should be able to afford it, right? Because if you hire someone, if you're doing 10 lakhs a month and you hire a resource whose salary is 60 lakhs a year, half your revenue is going to that person every month. So you have to have the confidence or the funding or the vision of growth that it's going to reach this scale, etc., for the P&L to support it. Otherwise, you're hiring the person, you're always scared, your P&L can't support it. That person is scared, the P&L can't support it. It's not a good experience.
Okay. How important is personal branding for a founder in today's date?
It's extremely important because customers are buying authenticity and they're buying a story. They're not just buying why. They're not just buying how and what, they're buying why. Every founder can't do it. But if you can, you can't afford a brand ambassador on day zero anyway, so might as well do it.
Yeah. You being a creator and having a very strong personal brand, how does it help you with your deals, with your founder access and with the opportunities right now?
I would say like we are a 3% team in V3. But because of the founder, because of the brand that we've been able to create on socials and the accessibility, it's much easier to reach a founder. When I started, 2 in 10 founders would reply to me that I wanted to speak to. Now 8 in 10 reply.
Content should not be optional right now.
It's my moat. I don't want to let everybody else have it, but it seems like everybody else is trying it. So yeah, I think it makes sense. It makes sense for a VC to put out their thesis, to talk about their investments, to build their brand. See, we are all selling. Founder may be selling to me. I am also selling the founder के उसका पैसा मत लेना, मेरा पैसा लेना ना. तो हम भी बेचते हैं ऐसे.
Yeah.
And हम भी अपने investors को बेचते हैं. Like I run a fund. People have invested in me in this fund, right? I have to also sell to them my vision, my story, my investments, why I'm the right person. Everybody's selling.
You have, like I said, you have almost 4 lakh followers right now. How does that?
नहीं, 220,000 LinkedIn
390. अच्छा और भी है तो
LinkedIn पे भी है
6-7 लाख 7 लाख के बेस पे इतने बड़े पर्सनल ब्रांड पे how are you actually making brand deals and money? If you can just break down that for us.
I think brands reach out to me. If I find it relevant, I give my manager's number. I have a manager now. She speaks to them and we do a deal. But because I'm not doing this full time, I'm not able to give it enough bandwidth. If a brand needs a video in a short turnaround period, I don't do it. So I think I'm not a creator, right? If I was doing this full time, I would make lots more money and I would put lots more effort and I would do a much better job. I have a goal and a reason I'm doing this. And the brand deals are a byproduct, not the mainstay of what I do.
If there are a lot of aspiring founders who are just starting their journey, who are just trying to make some content, trying to build some distribution, they're making 0 to 10 lakh types per month probably. What should they focus on right now?
Lage raho on everything. Do your own content, get the right social media, work with the right influencers, speak to your customers, find ways to run the right performance ads, do the right automation and customer outreach to keep your customers loyal, सब कुछ. 10 लाख से 1 करोड़ पहुंचना है.
And if somebody is scaled, for example, till 50 lakhs, they've hit a glass ceiling. They don't know guidance किससे लेना है, mentorship किससे लेना है. They're wasting a lot of time, efforts, money right now. What would you tell them in a nutshell?
Come to me.
Wow, Arjun.
No, I think, look, I don't like overgeneralization. I think every business has their own circumstances. Why the business is stuck at that point is a bunch of reasons that is specific to that business. So what general feedback I can give them, I can't give them any feedback or advice other than India बहुत बड़ा देश है. 50 लाख पे सीलिंग नहीं आना चाहिए. 50 करोड़ पे सीलिंग आना चाहिए. Maybe 50 crore per year or 50 crore per month. That I don't know the answer to. But you have scope to grow. Why it's not growing is that business specific.
What is an attractive TAM to you? मतलब at least the base. At least इतना TAM होना चाहिए. 2000 crore.
2000 crore types होना चाहिए.
Everybody knows all the highlights for Dr. Vaidya's, कैसे scale हुआ, क्या हुआ, right? What is one lowest point जो किसी को नहीं पता है?
When our fundraise wasn't working out and I got back to the office from an investor meeting, it was like 8 p.m. or something like that. Just my wife and I in the office. And she asked me how it was and I said, went shit. And she started crying and saying like, we put in so much bloody effort in this business. Everybody else seems to be getting funding except us. Like, why is it only us? And I felt responsible because I was managing the fundraise. And so I was failing. That was the lowest point for me. And then I said, I have to do it for my wife. दादा के लिए तो करना है बट वाइफ के लिए भी करना है और फिर फाइनली कर लिया 6 महीने बाद.
If a 23-year-old, your 24-year-old entrepreneur is watching this episode right now, what would you advise him कि ये करना है और ये चीज़ें बिल्कुल नहीं करनी है? Then you can come to me.
Yeah, I would say that it's a grind. Instantly results नहीं आएंगे और सब कुछ वाइब कोड नहीं हो सकता है. अगर हर $1 billion कंपनी क्लाउड कोड पे बन सकता था तो हम सब बिलियनर्स बनते थे. Of course AI, of course content, of course the internet will give you answers, but there is no substitute to hard work and a grind.
This entire conversation से ये हम डिकोड कर रहे हैं कि सिर्फ इंस्पायर मत हो दूर कहीं बैठ के, थोड़ा अनकंफर्टेबल हो जाओ, थोड़े एम्बिशियस हो जाओ.
काम करो. Instagram पे रील्स देख के कुछ काम नहीं होगा. You'll get ideas from there.
Yeah.
But unicorns are not built from ideas, they are built from blood, sweat and high quality execution. There are many Facebooks before Facebook, but Facebook is Google. There are many Facebooks before Facebook, many Googles before Google, and many Apples before Apple. Or many social networks before Facebook, if you want to say it like that. But Facebook is Facebook, Google is Google, and Apple is Apple because they execute it better than anybody else.
Yeah. रात को तो सब एलॉन मस्क बन जाते हैं, इतने आइडियाज आते हैं, बट सुबह तक वो एग्जीक्यूशन तक कभी पहुंच नहीं पाता. आई थिंक दैट्स द बिगेस्ट डिफरेंस. टुडे आई थिंक वी हैव डिकोडेड अ लॉट ऑफ दैट डिसीजंस एंड दैट माइंडसेट फ्रॉम यू. And I think it was an amazing conversation. Thank you for being so sharp.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yes, it was so much fun. It was sharp, it was honest, and it was very eye-opening. Thank you so much for coming here, giving us so much time. And I'm sure people will benefit a lot out of this. Thanks for coming on Venture Voices, Arjun.
Thank you.
Thank you.